Now on CoastTV News.
Traffic study scrapped. Why DelDOT says one would not matter as Lewis officials debate the latest housing development project in the city.
Milford Road risks how the city is looking to improve bicycle and pedestrian safety at a busy area along Airport Road.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Waking up to temperatures in the 50s away from the coast as that fall-like chill greets us. Your latest forecast is coming up.
From 32 yards, straight air,
New season, same ending. Ravens blow a 15-point fourth quarter lead in losing the 2025 opener.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us. It is Monday, September 8th, 2025.
Yeah, if you're a Ravens fan, that was a tough investment in time. Yes. The game ended near midnight, and to stay all the way up for that, if you have to go to work today, and you saw a loss.
I know, but I do think the kicker from the Bills, I think the Browns kicker needs to take some notes.
He might not be the Browns kicker this time next week.
He might not. That is for sure. And you know what? I don't think I disagree with that. But someone who, is coming off of a nice win on Thursday and is still glowing from it. Yes, he still is very happy. That's Chris Mastrobono.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Get the Chiefs this weekend. Big game there in Kansas City. So looking forward to that one. I'll tell you what, looking forward to some nice weather this morning after kind of a topsy-turvy weekend. We were in the 90s. Saturday, we had temperatures in the 60s and 70s yesterday with rain, but beautiful skies greeting us this morning in Laurel, 55 degrees, dew point 52. So that cool, drier air has made its way onto the peninsula, and you can see the 24-hour temperature change. We're running a good 10 to 11 degrees cooler for most locations. We're at 66 Rehoboth, 56 Milton, the cool spot there, Harrington, 51, 54 Bridgeville, to 56 in Salisbury. Winds pretty calm, but we see that northerly to northeasterly wind flow. Winds at the coast a bit stronger, 13-mile-an-hour winds there, Rehoboth to 21, Indian River Inlet. We're clear, free of any precipitation, seeing still some high clouds across the southern half of Delmarva, but high pressure building in, and we're in for a nice treat to start the week. But we do have some clouds and a coastal system that's going to be bringing us some light showers and some drizzle, at least late tomorrow through Wednesday. But overall, sunny, dry, and just pleasant stretch of weather once we get through that coastal system midweek. Temperatures this morning in the 50s. We're at 56 for the bus stop this morning under mostly sunny skies, and looking at a pretty nice afternoon with temperatures rising to the lower 70s with that wind out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll talk more about that system midweek coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. Our top story this hour is happening tonight in Lewis. It's the continuing effort to move forward the proposed development known as Overfall Preserve. And as is the case with most projects like this, increased traffic becomes a concern. According to DelDOT, in July, Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco requested an explanation for why a traffic impact study was not needed. In a letter set for review at this evening's 5:30 City Council meeting, DelDOT says any study done would not address the existing issues for Savannah Road and the surrounding area.
Also happening tonight, a transportation study along one of Milford's busiest roads is scheduled for review at tonight's council meeting. Airport Road between Canterbury Road and US 113 currently lacks sidewalks and shoulders, leaving many neighbors feeling unsafe. With Milford's growing population and more offices and businesses along the road, the city says it asked the Dover-Kent Metropolitan Planning Organization to study the corridor and identify potential safety improvements. Neighbors we spoke with say they already have ideas for improvements, which they feel are long overdue.
Or sidewalks for people to get around safely so they're not out in the road. If there were sidewalks, I might walk on Airport Road, but otherwise, no, just got to stay away from as many cars as possible.
The Dover-Kent MPO says the project is still in its early stages. After presenting at tonight's meeting, the organization says next week they will meet with neighbors at the Riverwalk Freedom Festival to hear public input.
New this morning, a new school year is underway, and the local nonprofit Clothing Our Kids started receiving orders from school staff before the first day of classes. And for the first time this year, the organization is delivering clothing to all 10 high schools in Sussex County. The president of Clothing Our Kids tells us why this is important to a student's education.
When you're a young adult and now you're going through high school, we want them ready to go to the next step, whether it go to college, to get a job.
And according to the organization, before this school year even started, they delivered, get this, over 100 boxes of clothes.
Happening today, possible restrictions for your favorite pets. According to the agenda, Dagsboro town leaders will discuss possible changes to the town's animal rules. Specifically, officials will review possible updates to the town code, outlining which animals locals are allowed to own. Dagsboro will gather for the town council meeting tonight at 5:45.
Ocean City is honoring the 24th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks with the Week of Remembrance events. Since Friday, 2 beams of light shining every night from the Firefighters Memorial. That's on North Division Street. And officials say there are also nightly evening programs featuring family tribute videos. A morning service, an annual joint memorial service at the Firefighters Memorial on the OC Boardwalk is scheduled for Thursday, September 11th.
New in Maryland, a state police barrack is opening its doors in Worcester County. Tomorrow, state leaders will gather for the ribbon cutting of the new Berlin Barracks V. The new facility on Route 50 includes several upgrades. It will also serve as home to an upgraded forensic sciences laboratory. The building replaces the old barrack that first opened back in 1976. And for more details on what upgrades the new building features will have, you can head over to our article on CoastTV.com.
And we're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. on this Monday morning. Americans are weighing in on President Trump's policies that impact wealth and health. This as Chicago prepares for the president to make good on his threat to send National Guard troops there to crack down on crime.
NBC's Bofta Yiman shows us what Americans think about the president's actions according to a new poll.
At the U.S. Open Sunday, the president's presence brought mixed reactions. This as a new NBC poll shows the president's approval rating at 43% amid threats to go to war with an American city over a crime crackdown.
Are you threatening to go to war with Chicago?
When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would you use the Department of Defense?
I call it a threat. I call it embarrassing. I would call it performative.
Despite this post on Saturday where the president appeared to threaten war on Chicago, by Sunday, he walked it back.
We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities.
The administration staying on the defensive after the latest jobs report highlighted a dramatic slowdown in the labor market.
And so I think that what's going on is that these old-fashioned ways of surveying, we've got to modernize the way we do the labor data.
The NBC News poll showed only 39% support how the president is dealing with inflation and cost of living, and only 41% of Americans approved of the president's handling of trade and tariffs. As the tariffs continue to cause confusion for businesses and higher prices for consumers, the White House had this to say.
So just bottom line, Mr. Secretary, do you acknowledge that these tariffs are a tax on American consumers?
No, I don't.
In Washington, Bofta Imam, NBC News.
New this morning in Rehoboth Beach, city leaders are considering new rules for news racks along the sidewalks. According to the agenda, council commissioners are set to review a draft ordinance taking aim at the number of news racks. The proposed changes come as concerns mount over cluttered sidewalks, racks blocking pedestrian traffic, and poor upkeep of the boxes themselves. The ordinance could limit where news racks are placed and establish maintenance requirements. City leaders will gather in just a few hours at 9 a.m.
It was a heartbreaker for the Ravens, leading at 1 point, 40-25 in the fourth quarter. Baltimore allows a big comeback by the Bills, capped off by this Matt Prater field goal as time expired. Baltimore loses 41-40. More on Week 1 later on Coast TV News Today.
And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, saying goodbye to summer, what you need to know about the decrease in lifeguards in Ocean City.
Also, Powwow presents culture and tradition. We recap the Nanticoke celebration in Milton over the weekend.
And staying in Milton, they're looking at traffic changes. We'll tell you which intersections could see new signage if approved by council. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Well, I hope your Monday morning is off to a great start. A fantastic look into ocean views, some high clouds there. A bit breezy at the coast with winds upwards of 20 miles an hour. We're at 63 in Ocean View, and it was a warm weekend, at least to start. We were at 92, and then we took a 20-degree plunge there into Sunday with a lot of clouds and showers, and waking up to some cool temperatures this morning. 50 in Harrington, we're at 55 in Georgetown, 56 in Salisbury. A bit milder at the coast with that wind coming off the ocean. 66 Bethany Beach. High pressure is building in, and that's going to allow for sunny skies this afternoon and beautiful day ahead. We got the green light for the running forecast here. We're going to have plenty of sunshine through the morning and into the afternoon with highs in the lower 70s. And you get your forecast anytime by dialing that First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up here in a little bit. Lisa.
Thank you, Chris. Tonight in Milton, a potential traffic change could see approval by the town council. Here's what they are considering. On your screen is the intersection of Mill Street and Walnut Street. That stop sign on the right is on Walnut Street. Council could vote on a proposal to take that sign and place on Mill Street, which is the street running parallel to your screen.
In Berlin, drivers will notice new parking restrictions along West Street. According to the mayor and the council, there is no parking on both sides of West Street from Main Street to Buckingham Lane. Town officials say the move is designed to keep traffic moving and make sure emergency crews can safely travel the road. The restrictions also improve access to the new West Street parking lot.
Happening today at the Georgetown Public Library, free Spanish classes for adults. According to the library, the beginner level classes require no prior experience, and the sessions will use natural techniques for language learning. The classes will be held September 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th from 5:30 to 6:30.
Delaware is buzzing with new efforts to protect pollinators. DENREC is launching Parks for Pollinators. It's a national campaign, and it's now taking place in several Delaware state parks and the Brandywine Zoo. Goal here, raise awareness about pollinator situation. Officials say about 75% of flowering plants and over a third of crops depend on not just bees, but beetles, butterflies, even bats. According to DENREC, all play a role in helping plants thrive.
The value of the dollar decreased recently amid signs of a slowing economy. A drop of 0.7% in the dollar index represents its lowest levels in over a month. The index measures the U.S. dollar's strength against 6 major foreign currencies. Federal rate cuts can lower Treasury yields, which could make the bonds less appealing for global investors. As a result, that could lead to less demand for a dollar.
The European Union has fined Google roughly $3.5 billion for breaking its competition laws. EU officials accuse the tech giant of unfairly undercutting smaller competitors in the online advertising market. Google has 2 months to tell regulators how it will comply with the ruling, but Google plans to appeal. And on Friday, President Trump threatened a tariff investigation into the EU in response to the ruling.
Well, being greeted by temperatures in the 50s and 60s this morning. Mostly sunny skies with that sunrise 6:37. Plenty of sunshine today, but we're going to run into some clouds by midweek. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast when CoastTV News Today continues.
Time is 6:16, and here's a live look at the early morning Roosevelt Inlet scene in Lewis. Chris, this is a bit of foreshadowing, I think, for that drop in temperature today.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're feeling it this morning. A very nice air is in place, all thanks to that cold front that passed through. Check out the 24-hour temperature change. We're a good 10 to 15 degrees cooler through most of Delmarva, and you can see temperatures away from the coast. We're 55 Long Neck, 53 in Redden, 50 the cool spot there in Harrington, and we are at 56 in Salisbury. You can see winds out of the north, pretty calm further inland. At the coast, we're seeing some gusts off the ocean, anywhere between about 14 to 20 miles an hour. But that cold front has brought drier air in place, and you see dew points are in the 50s. Well, those frost advisories, first of the season, well out to the west, across portions of West Virginia and western Pennsylvania. It's only a matter of time before they get here on Delmarva. And you see small craft advisories up for the Atlantic coast, and those run through 6 o'clock Wednesday. And then we have the small craft advisories up for the Bay. Those run through 6 a.m. Tuesday. Could see some winds as high as 25 to 35 miles an hour. We're free of any precipitation. That has pushed off the coast, that front well off the coast now. Still dealing with some clouds far southern reaches of the peninsula, but high pressure is going to be moving in, keeping us nice and sunny and dry throughout the day today. Rain chances are going to be hard to come by here. We'll see a few showers late Tuesday into Wednesday, and then overall pretty dry Thursday through the weekend as high pressure builds in. Today we're at 74 in Georgetown, 74 Vienna, 72 in Cambridge. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, 74 in Salisbury. So clear skies this afternoon. Another clear, cool night falling into the low to mid 50s away from the coast. We start Tuesday with some sun, and then clouds increase throughout the afternoon as that coastal system gets closer to our area. We're going to stay dry throughout the day. It's not until late Tuesday night into Wednesday we begin to see some light shower activity, maybe some drizzle along the coast. Precipitation not all that heavy with the system. In fact, most of the precipitation is going to stay off the coast. You can see winds tomorrow, though, gusting upwards of 25 to 35 miles an hour Tuesday through Tuesday night. And then those winds continue even into Wednesday, upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour, especially at the coast. The low is going to be well offshore, so most of the precipitation shield is going to be off the coast, but we could see a few of those scattered showers and drizzle, especially along coastal Delaware through Maryland and Virginia. But the system's out of here by Thursday, and we warm it back up to around 80 degrees by then. 74 this afternoon, a little bit cloudier to the south. Those clouds kind of hanging on. 55 overnight under mostly clear skies, and we're at 73 for our Tuesday with clouds on the increase. Again, breezier at the coast. Not a complete washout of a Wednesday, but a lot of clouds. We struggle to get to 70. We're right back up to 80 on Thursday under mostly sunny skies, and looking pretty good for Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams' walk there at Cape Henlopen State Park. Walk for prostate cancer coming in there Saturday morning. We're looking at mostly sunny skies.
That's good to know. Looking forward to being part of that. Thank you, Chris. It was all about culture and tradition at Hudson Fields in Milton this weekend. The Nanticoke Indian Tribe hosting its 47th annual powwow. This powwow also serves as a reminder of their presence and heritage. Vendors sold unique products, stories were shared, and a flag presentation and dancing took place. Tribal Council member Melissa Jackson says the event is crucial for preserving their history.
It allows us to support our cultural center, and then it allows us to support our museum. Every powwow that we have, those funds are used to run those two buildings.
And organizers say they plan to come back to Milton next year.
Delaware students can now show off their creativity while learning about conservation. The state's annual conservation poster contest is officially open to all K-12 students, including public, private, charter, and homeschoolers. Organizers say this year's theme is "Home is where the habitat is." Hand-drawn posters are welcome from all students, while digital art is accepted for grades 7 through 12. Cash prizes of $50, $25, and $15 will be awarded to the top 3 winners in each age group.
Up next, saying goodbye to summer. What Ocean City locals say about safety now that there are fewer lifeguards keeping watch. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Coast TV News Today.
Well, Labor Day has come and gone, which means the unofficial end of the summer season. Now, that doesn't mean beaches are closed, but it does mean fewer lifeguards are on the stands, and we're talking about in Ocean City specifically. So a heads up if you're planning a beach trip before the warm weather fully leaves us. Around 2/3 of the guards have left their post, which means more guards have to cover the ground.
If you're going in the water, I believe they should be here. You should be here with the lifeguards. If you're a really good swimmer, but you never know with the currents nowadays.
And the Ocean City Beach Patrol says the remaining guards will be on duty until Sunday, September 21st. And we're coming off of a rainy Sunday, and that rain means that the grass grows, and that means that you have to cut your lawn.
It's actually on the agenda this week.
Really?
Perhaps Wednesday if you're keeping score at home.
Okay.
I know some of you are.
Okay, all right, Chris, we'll circle back Thursday and
Yep.
see if Matt did.
But right now I'm thinking it's probably windbreakers and sweatshirts for those that want to take that morning walk on the beach, Chris.
Oh yeah, we're seeing some temperatures dip into the 50s this morning across a good bit of the area, all thanks to that cold front that pushed through yesterday. Beautiful blue skies there looking out from Lewis, and temperature there 67, a bit milder at the coast with that wind coming off the ocean. Seeing some winds at the coast anywhere between about 17 to 25 miles an hour, but plenty of sunshine. Could see some clouds late, especially further south you go, south of Ocean City, but other than that, we're looking at highs in the lower 70s. Moderate risk of rip currents today. Keep that in mind, waves 2 to 3 feet. Plenty of sunshine through Lewis this afternoon. Highs around the lower 70s, as well as Rehoboth. Beautiful conditions there. High risk of rip currents, though, as we go into the day tomorrow. Wall-to-wall sunshine through Cambridge, 73 by around 5 o'clock. And Crisfield looking pretty nice there with the temperature of 72 degrees. We have our umbrella winner, Carol Lewis, Lewis, Delaware. Congratulations on your Coast TV News umbrella. We'll have a look at that 7-day forecast in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, Rehoboth sidewalk situation, what officials are proposing to tackle what they say are cluttered sidewalks and the object they are talking about.
Also, clothing our kids. They're helping more students every year. We'll show you how this local nonprofit is expanding its reach.
In development traffic debate, we'll tell you about the questions for DelDOT as Lewis officials try to regulate traffic at one major proposed development. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Ocean City remembers. The tribute underway that hopes to ensure that we never forget the terrorist attacks on September 11th.
High schools helped. It is the most rewarding job to know that you are taking care of a child with a week's worth of clothes.
The program in Sussex County that is providing clothing to students in need at the start of the school year.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Waking up to temperatures in the 50s away from the coast as that fall-like chill greets us. Your latest forecast is coming up.
Road review response. Why DelDOT is telling Lewis officials a traffic study will not matter in the plans for the city's newest housing development.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 8th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's 6:28. Yes, it's a Monday, but when we're having low humidity, it's hard to complain too much.
That's true, because on Saturday, you and I went to the Shore Living Expo together,
toasty.
and we walked out after our shift, and we were like, oh, wow, not used to this humidity.
It's been a while.
We have been a while, because the end of August, it felt like fall, low humidity. So I actually did not miss the humidity. I did not.
I didn't, but I did because it's I'm still trying to milk as much summer as we bring in
I'm ready for fall.
First alert meteorologist. I know you are. First alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. I know we got a couple days of summer still left.
Yeah, we're trying to squeeze everything we can. I know a lot of people hate when it gets dark early. We're losing sunlight. And we're going to have plenty of sunshine through the morning and afternoon today. Clear skies there into Laurel. We're at 54 there. Note the dew point, 51, so that drier air has worked into the area. Temperature change over the last 24 hours. We're about 13 degrees cooler there in Dover, 11 degrees cooler in Salisbury, where the temperature there is 56 degrees. We're at 54 there in Bridgeville, 50 Harrington, a little milder at the coast with that wind coming off the ocean. We're at 67 degrees. 23-mile-an-hour sustained wind there, Indian River Inlet, so a bit breezy there at the coast, but away from the coast, winds are pretty calm. High pressure is building into the mid-Atlantic, and that's going to keep us dry. There's the rain from yesterday as that cold front pushes off the coast, and we're in for plenty of sunshine for our Monday. A bit more in the way of cloud cover to the south. Further southern reaches of the peninsula could see some clouds hang on there. But we are all going to be in the cloud cover, especially late tomorrow as clouds increase. Coastal system will spread cloud cover and some showers and drizzle into the area on Wednesday, and it will be a bit breezy at the coast developing tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine through Lewis, Rehoboth today with temperatures in the lower 70s. And then as we make our way into Bethany Beach, partly cloudy skies, and into Ocean City and Chincoteague, temperatures right around that lower 70 mark with the winds coming out of the northeast at about 10 to 15 to 20 miles an hour. We'll talk more about that coastal system midweek coming up in the full forecast a little later on. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour happening tonight in Lewis, a continuing effort to move forward the proposed development known as Overfall Preserve. As is the case for most projects, increased traffic becomes a concern. According to DelDOT in July, Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco requested an explanation for why a traffic impact study was not needed. In a letter set for review at today's 5:30 City Council meeting, DelDOT says any study done would not address the existing issues for Savannah Road and the surrounding area.
Tonight, Milford, a transportation study along one of the city's busiest roads is scheduled for review. It's Airport Road between Canterbury Road and US 113. It currently lacks sidewalks and shoulders. With Milford's growing population and even more offices and businesses along this road, the city says it's asked the Dover, Kent Metropolitan Planning Organization to study the corridor and identify potential safety improvements. They plan to present their findings and recommendations at tonight's City Council meeting.
Clothing Our Kids, a local nonprofit in Sussex County, is stepping up again this year to help students in need get clothes, shoes, and more for their day-to-day.
Coast TV News reporter Anna Sophia Roman shows us their most recent expansion.
A new school year has begun, But clothing our kids started receiving orders from school staff before the first day of classes. And for the first time this year, the nonprofit is delivering clothes to all 10 high schools in Sussex County. Bob Bluin, president of the organization, says delivering at the high school level is as important as all the other school levels.
When you're a young adult and now you're going through high school, we want them ready to go to the next step, whether it go to college, to get a job.
According to the organization, before this school year even started, they delivered over 100 boxes of clothes.
If they don't have all of the necessities to be able to come into school, wearing new clothes, clean clothes, shoes, appropriate footwear, a lot of times those are the things that kids are focused on. They're not able to invest the time and energy they need to into their academics and into their classroom instruction.
Clothing Our Kids has over 30 volunteers who are in charge of looking for clothes, packing orders, and delivering them. Karen Borges, Volunteer Center Director, has been part of the organization since it was founded 13 years ago.
It is the most rewarding job to know that you are taking care of a child with a week's worth of clothes. And to fill that box, we fill it with love.
Helping students in need, one box at a time. In Millsboro, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
New this morning in Rehoboth Beach, city leaders are considering new rules for news racks along the sidewalks. According to the agenda, council members are set to review a draft ordinance taking aim at the number of news racks throughout the city. The proposed changes come as concerns mount over cluttered sidewalks, racks blocking pedestrian traffic, and poor upkeep of the boxes themselves. The ordinance could limit where news racks are placed and establish maintenance requirements. City leaders will gather in just a few hours at 9 a.m.
Ocean City is honoring the 24th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks with a week of remembrance and events. Since Friday, 2 beams of light shining every night from the Firefighters Memorial on North Division Street. Officials say they are also nightly evening programs featuring family tribute videos. A morning service and annual joint memorial service at the Firefighters Memorial on the Ocean City Boardwalk, that is scheduled for Thursday, September 11th.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump says he expects to decide on a course of action for Chicago today or tomorrow. He's threatening to send in National Guard troops citing illegal immigration and violent crime. The White House says it's been moving immigration enforcement personnel into the city. Officials say how Chicago locals respond to raids could determine whether Trump sends in troops. Illinois Democrats say a National Guard deployment wouldn't help with crime.
Chicago is a very dangerous place. We could solve Chicago very quickly.
We spent more money in Los Angeles putting the National Guard there than it cost to hire 2,000 Chicago police officers. And instead, he cut $820 million in anti-violence programs. We're going in the opposite direction.
Several Illinois Democrats suggest federal partnership to reduce gun violence and hire more police officers.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Delaware marijuana money will tell you the reports from the recreational industry after just 1 month of operation.
Also, Sunday night comeback, how the Ravens let an opening night win slip away against the Bills.
And possible food truck freedom will tell you about the changes being discussed in Millsboro that would expand operations for the mobile restaurants. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
A pleasant good Monday morning to you, Delmarva. Hope your morning is off to a fantastic start and you had a great weekend. We're taking a live look into Ocean View. A bit breezy there. That wind coming off the ocean. You can see some higher clouds there to the south. 65 there, dew point 59. So a nice, cool, comfortable start. And you knew it was a cool end to the month of August. But there you see those last 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, above average. We had temperatures in the 90s with high humidity, but that cold front, well, meant business. We have cool, drier air back in place. We're at 55 in Rehoboth, 55 Milton to 56 in Dagsboro. High pressure settling in, and we are looking at mostly sunny skies throughout the afternoon today with highs right around 74 degrees. Coming up, we'll talk more about a coastal system that's going to bring some clouds and some light showers and drizzle back into the picture come middle part of the week. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. Millsboro is considering a change to its town code that could allow food trucks year-round. Right now, they're only permitted during festivals and events, but town officials have been considering opening the road for more Meals on Wheels. Most trucks in the Millsboro area are only used for private parties and catering, but some restaurants say the change would open new opportunities.
Trying to build some new stuff here, trying to put some incredible things in here, but I feel like that bringing food trucks here to Millsboro will help a lot with trying to connect the communities together, especially with different types of races, you know.
And this was up for discussion at a town meeting last week, but no official action was taken.
Last night, the Ravens kicked off their 30th season, and the NFL schedule makers threw them right into the fire. The two-time defending AFC North champs on the road against the team that came up just a couple of points short of winning the 2024 AFC title, the Buffalo Bills. And we had this game here on CoastTV. It was a thrill. Third quarter, Ravens up 20-13. There's Lamar Jackson to Zay Flowers. Flowers does the rest. More Ravens in the fourth. Derrick Henry gets the ball, and the race is on, and Henry would win this one 46 yards, but Tyler Loop would miss the extra point, so it's a 40-25 lead. Here come the Bills, 2 minutes to go. Josh Allen jumps over the line for the score. They fail on a 2-point try. It's a 1-point game. Ravens can't ice it. They go 3 and out, and back come the Bills. Keon Coleman over the middle, 25 yards to set up the Bills, and time running out. Matt Prater ends the night for the Ravens. The Ravens begin the 2025 season same as they ended it in 2024, a one-score loss to the Bills, and the Ravens are home next week with the Browns. We go to the D.C. suburbs. Washington at home with the Giants. First quarter, Jaden Daniels gets it to Zach Ertz. This is the first score of the season. 7-0 lead for the Burgundy and Gold. In the second, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt cuts to the outside. He's into the end zone. Washington wins the opener 21-6, and they got a short turnaround here because they have a Thursday night game at Green Bay. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 5:15, it is live Delaware girls high school volleyball when Cape hosts Delmarva Christian Academy. Then at 10:30, catch the final score. Now, along with that volleyball match, we got a full slate of high school field hockey for you to watch on DSM+. It's all at 4. Decatur is visiting Parkside. Ken Island travels to Easton. Delmar is at Cesar Rodney, and Del Castle takes on Appoquinimink.
Today in entertainment news, the latest awards for film and television. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
It's all about collaboration, and we got on wonderfully.
Julie Andrews has won her 3rd Emmy at age 89. She was honored at this weekend's Creative Arts Emmys for her voiceover performance on Bridgerton. The weekend's big winner was the Hollywood satire The Studio, which is this year's most nominated comedy series. It picked up 9 trophies, including cinematography and production design. The main Emmys ceremony is Sunday.
What do you say we toast our tea to family relations?
Oh. Father, Mother, Sister, Brother from veteran indie filmmaker Jim Jarmusch. Golden Lion, the top prize at the Venice Film Festival. The 3-part feature film is due in U.S. theaters December 24th.
I grew up where there was nobody like me on TV.
It was like, okay, networks, you don't have a place for me, I'm making my own place.
Seen and Heard, the history of black television, looks at the legacy of black representation on TV, the challenges black artists and creators have faced, and how their storytelling has evolved and shaped culture with each generation. The 2-part documentary premieres Tuesday on HBO Max. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Mondays can be tricky to get through, and that is where we at Coast Life come in to brighten up your day right around 4 o'clock. If you tune in here's what you could see. If you've been struggling to get back into maybe that fitness routine, the kids are back in school, you yourself have a new routine you need to establish, well, our friends at Soleil Studio can help you establish that new routine. Plus, later this month, especially for the gentlemen out there or anybody with a gentleman in their life that they care about, there's a great event coming up to help men get screened for prostate cancer, help raise money to help end prostate cancer and fund prostate cancer research. We've got some more details on that event and ways that you can give back. Plus, circling back to fitness, we know we've got more questions, more ways that you maybe are struggling to get into the habit, build the habit. We've got more things to discuss with our friends at Custom Fit 360. All that fun and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Our cool start in the 50s this morning is going to give away to mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Highs reaching the lower 70s. An absolutely gorgeous start to the week. I'll have details on how long the sunshine and cool weather sticks around in my full 7-day forecast right after the break.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning. And Chris, we're starting to see the sun come up. That is good because we had a Sunday without any sun. And if your football team's lost, you really could just look outside and feel those emotions because it was raining. That's how I felt. Yes.
Yeah, the weather really kind of precipitated for how you felt. I'll tell you what, bad timing there with the weather. I know we had a hot Saturday, but kind of a gloomy, rainy Sunday. But the cold front pushed through and it's lowered temperatures. You can see 24-hour temperature change across the area. We're a good 10 to 15 degrees cooler through most of Delmarva. Temperatures, though, we're in our low point of the day here, hitting our lows 50 in Harrington, 54 Long Neck. We're at 52 in Redden, 67 in Bethany Beach. You can see that wind flow out of the northeast, a bit breezier at the coast. Seeing some winds up sustained about 25 miles an hour there, Indian River Inlet, but very comfortable out there. Dew points are in the 50s, and that is certainly good news. Small craft advisories, Delaware Coast, Maryland, as well as the Virginia coast. Those go through 6 p.m. Wednesday. That's due in part to a coastal low that's going to be making its way towards the area as we go into the day on Wednesday, and then the bay that's up through 6 a.m. Tuesday. But we're free of any precipitation. That is well off the coast. There's the front. Here's high pressure building in. That's pushing eastward. And that's really going to settle in as we start the week here. Keeping rain chances at bay today, but then we see some minor rain chances late Tuesday through Wednesday as that coastal system approaches. Not expecting a whole lot of moisture out of this system, and then we stay pretty dry through the tail end of the week into the weekend. Mostly sunny skies today, 72 Rehoboth to 74 Georgetown. We'll see 76 Federalsburg, 74 Vienna, 74 Princess Anne, 74 in Snow Hill. So there's those mostly sunny skies through the afternoon today. Wind flow out of the northeast. We'll see a clear, cool overnight, dipping once again into the low to mid 50s away from the coast. But there's the clouds approaching tomorrow. I think it's a mostly cloudy day. Clouds increase by the afternoon as that coastal low approaches, and then we'll see some light showers, some spotty drizzle, especially along the coast as we go into the day on Wednesday. Not a complete washout. Going to turn breezy, though, as we go into the day tomorrow, especially along the coast with winds gusting upwards of 25 to 35 miles an hour through the day on Wednesday. So there's the setup, that area of low pressure well off the coast. The main precipitation shield should stay off the coast, so the heaviest moisture will remain off the shore. But we're going to see some lingering clouds into early Wednesday, late Wednesday, and then clearing skies through the day on Thursday. Tropics very quiet as we approach the peak of hurricane season. Average peak is September 10th, but don't let your guard down. We still have a lot of season left to go. We're at a high of 74 this afternoon under mostly sunny skies, 55 for your overnight. We're at 73 into our Tuesday with increasing clouds, a gloomy, dreary, damp Wednesday. 70 degrees. We're right back up to 80 on Thursday, mostly sunny skies, and looking pretty nice heading into the weekend under mostly sunny skies.
Thank you, Chris. Delaware is reporting big numbers in their first month of recreational cannabis sales. Recreational weed was only allowed to be sold in Delaware on August 1st after years of roadblocks. According to the Office of the Marijuana Commissioner, retail sales across the state totaled over $7,300,000 in August, with cannabis flower accounting for 55% of those sales. The Columbia Cares dispensary in Rehoboth Beach, one of the top 3 earners in the state, says folks are certainly taking advantage of the sales.
The generic feedback is people are really excited about that, to shop locally, keep the money here locally in Delaware.
Since May, the Office of the Marijuana Commissioner has issued 79 conditional licenses and 3 active ones. Officials say more approvals are expected soon, along with new grants to help social equity businesses get off the ground.
Former President Joe Biden has selected his home state of Delaware for the site of his presidential library. That's according to an official with the office of former President Biden. Biden has also tapped a group of former aides, friends, and political allies to begin the process of fundraising and finding the exact location of the library.
Classes are back in session at Salisbury University, and there's a new major making waves. At least a dozen students are enrolled in coastal engineering. While the courses have been offered for years, the school officials say elevating it to a full major takes advantage of Salisbury's unique location right between the ocean and the bay. And the time is now 6:51, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a rescue who stole her family's heart. On your screen, check out Pookie, everybody. Pookie is the boss of the house and loves treats, long walks, and endless hugs and pets. Her family says she brings so much joy and love into her family, and they feel lucky to have her. Pookie and her family, they live in Rehoboth Beach.
I think Pookie right there is how everyone feels on a Monday morning.
It's
Sometimes
a good Monday picture.
We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
If you look in the top center there's a QR code. Scan it, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:55, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Happening tonight in Lewis, the continuing effort to move forward with the proposed development known as Overfall Preserve. As is the case for most projects, increased traffic becomes a concern. According to DelDOT in July, Lewis Mayor Amy Marasco requested an explanation for why a traffic impact study was not needed. In a letter set for review at this evening's 5:30 City Council meeting, DelDOT says any study done would not address the existing issues for Savannah Road and the surrounding area.
Ocean City is honoring the 24th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks with a week of remembrance and events. Since Friday, 2 beams of light shining every night from the Firefighters Memorial on North Division Street. Officials say there's also nightly evening programs featuring family tribute videos. There's a morning service and an annual joint memorial service at the Firefighters Memorial on the OC Boardwalk, and that is scheduled for Thursday, September 11th.
Delaware is reporting big numbers in their first month of recreational cannabis sales. Recreational weed was only allowed to be sold in Delaware on August 1st after years of roadblocks. According to the Office of the Marijuana Commissioner, retail sales across the state totaled over $7,300,000 in August, with cannabis flower accounting for 55%.
It was all about culture and tradition at Hudson Fields in Milton this weekend. Nanticoke Indian Tribe hosting its 47th powwow. The powwow also serves as a reminder of their presence and heritage. Vendors sold unique products, stories were shared, and a flag presentation and dancing took place.
And the time is now 6:56, and we are going to take another look at our fall-like forecast before we head out the door.
I like this one, though. It's another opportunity to perhaps turn off the AC and open up.
Yeah, without question. We have lower humidity, which is very nice. Temperatures beginning into the 50s this morning. Plenty of sunshine. We're up to 68 by around 10 a.m. On our way to highs in the lower 70s this afternoon. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Clouds will be on the increase Tuesday. The day is dry. Then as we go into late Tuesday night and Wednesday, could see some scattered showers, some light drizzle, especially at the coast as a coastal low approaches. Not expecting a whole lot of moisture out of this system. We're at 80 on Thursday and looking very nice as we round out the week and into the start of the weekend.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Monday morning, everybody.